Partnerships are extremely important if you want to grow your business, especially if you want to get into certain places that normally you wouldn't be able to get into. There's a company called Guidehouse. They're a huge consulting company that deals with corporate but also government contracts. They're actually the third largest consultant when it comes to government contracts. And Guidehouse just came into a strategic partnership with Palantir, where they're going to be able to build on Palantir Foundry as architects using Palantir Foundry as the foundation and try to consult and get Palantir into more government agencies. Now, this is going to be a very interesting article. I'm going to read it for you, but before you think, oh, but they're already in government, Palantir is in certain type of governments, right? But the smaller, more niche type of parts of government, the smaller areas that Palantir doesn't really concentrate on, this is what a consulting firm like Guidehouse can get them into. I made a video the other day. It's very, very important. And the Bank of America, you know what? Let me read you this article, and after the article, I'm going to give you the comments about what Bank of America said and how this coincides by the article that I'm going to read you right now. Guidehouse announces strategic alliance with Palantir, joining forces helping public sector clients leverage analytics to outwit complexity. Guidehouse is a leading provider of consulting services to the public sector and commercial clients. It is pleased to announce strategic alliance with Palantir Technologies. Guidehouse is the third largest consultancy to the federal government and with a multi-billion-dollar global practice. Leverages deep commercial and public sector expertise to help clients solve unique business and technological challenges. Guidehouse combines an in-depth understanding of missions across the U.S. federal government with a relentless focus to quality to develop sustainable strategies that drive mission success. Under the agreement, Guidehouse will architect solutions across its public sector customer base by building on Palantir Foundry's platform to accelerate business processes, rapid image, product delivery, AI model training, and enterprise-wide data integration. So essentially, they're a consultant that's going to build on Palantir Foundry to solve problems for their clients. So they're bridging Palantir to clients that normally would not mess with Palantir. For one reason or another, maybe they don't have the money for it. Remember, Palantir's average contract is $6.5 million. Not a lot of smaller agencies have $6.5 million. So it's cheaper to use a consulting firm that might cost you a couple of $100,000, and that consulting firm is able to bridge that gap. It's very important. Now, they're not the first consulting firm that does this. I had a video, and it doesn't come into mind right now, but there's another consulting firm. I think it's actually the #1 consulting firm that did a very similar thing. They're building on Palantir, and they're consulting with federal government clients, which is very important to the last part of this video. So stick with me, and I'm going to make a connection between this, that other strategic alliance, and what I'm going to say, and what the Bank of America analyst had to say in his interview. Palantir Foundry enables data-driven decision-making and operations by acting as the central operating system for enterprise-wide data, while also providing rigorous access control and governance within an intuitive end-user interface. And I quote, "The Guidehouse-Palantir partnership is a powerful combination," said Ed Meehan, partner and guidance defense segment leader. Palantir's extensive track record in solving complex challenges coupled with our deep mission, understanding, and robust digital expertise will enable clients to accelerate their digital transformation journeys. Again, they're going to build on Palantir Foundry. They know what their clients need, like what's the problem that their clients need to solve, and they will solve it using Palantir Foundry. This is what I'm understanding from this. The strategic alliance brings together deep skills in business and technology strategy, product ideation, technology development and deployment, and organizational change management to help support client makers and more impact business decisions. With deep functional knowledge in data science and data engineering, Guidehouse is a valuable partner as we extend our support for the U.S. government. Together, we will be able to provide robust offerings to solve data challenges for a variety of missions and place our clients on the best path for success. About Guidehouse, the company has more than 13,000 professionals in over 50 locations globally. So it definitely has a huge reach, and this is definitely going to help Palantir. Now, when I did a video the other day talking about Bank of America initiating coverage on Palantir, they said that Palantir's fair market value is $13 a share. When the analyst was talking, I believe CNBC gave him an interview. I forgot who gave him an interview. But the analyst basically justified that 1/3 of Palantir's business essentially comes from government contracting, but like military government contracting. 1/3 comes from other government contracting, non-military, and 1/3 comes from the commercial sector. He says that at $9, when they initiated the coverage, that at $9, this barely takes into account just 1/3 of their business. He also said that there's a lot of rumblings within his circles that Palantir is able to coordinate with a lot of different other software programs within the United States government. And he said it's not just the contracts that you guys know about. It's that they're able to work in coordination with other software companies on a smaller level and get into a lot of places that we're not hearing about and a lot of places that we normally wouldn't think that they're getting into. Now, these are not my words, and I'm paraphrasing. These are not his exact words, but that's what the gentleman said. Another thing that he said, and please keep in mind, he says is that data is the new bullets and that's the ammunition for the weapons. Well, Palantir has the ammunition and the weapons to push this government forward, to push America forward, to push America and their allies forward. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Palantir is down today. Palantir was down yesterday, but we are in an extreme bear market. There is massive growth ahead for Palantir. In bad times, Palantir thrives, but it takes a while for these contracts to come. It takes a while for you to realize what Palantir can do. You can see that Palantir starts with a small contract and then they extend their contract. It's happening all the time. U.S. Army, original contract was like $23 million. Then they got a possible $800-something million with Raytheon Technology. And then they just got the $36 million contract just to build a prototype, which the Titan contract can be multi-billion-dollar contract. Talk about the NHS, right? The NHS originally gave them like a 23 million pounds, something like this, approximately contract. All of a sudden they upgraded their contract and now they're bidding for this massive, nearly $1 billion contract over 10 years. Possible, but at the very least, it's going to be a 360 million pound contract over 5 years, right? So Palantir always starts with these little contracts and they keep getting extensions. And if you don't believe me, all you got to do is type in Palantir with government contracts and you're going to see all of these government contracts give them an extension. Palantir starts with a very small contract and keeps upping. Because once you use Palantir, it's very hard to get off of Palantir. It happened with Space Force too, right? Space Force gave them a little contract and then they extended their contract. And it happens all the time with Palantir. Palantir just needs to get into the door. And once Palantir can get into the door, it's very hard to get off of Palantir because Palantir can do what other companies cannot do. And that's not my words. Like I made a video yesterday and the US Navy literally said that the reason they picked Palantir over Raytheon is because Palantir is the only one that can reduce redundancy and reduce the human element, the human resource of that redundancy, to be able to communicate between different departments, both within and externally of the Navy. Again, I made a video yesterday. It's not my words. These are the words of the United States Navy. For me, Palantir is a clear winner. I love Palantir, and I honestly think that they get a bad rap because a lot of people don't understand what they're doing because a lot of people are not doing an in-depth analysis of exactly how and what Palantir does. Guys, thank you so much. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm purely an entertainer and educator at best. Happy tradings, and hopefully in 6 to 12 months, the market comes back and we're making some money with Palantir and all of our other investments. Please subscribe down below, and if you subscribe, hit me up in the comments that you did subscribe, and if you did that, I'm going to comment back as a show of appreciation and say thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. Have a great day.